So the way that, I mean, not obviously Matt Rife's already like selling out arenas, but when I put out my first tour, that's kind of the same thing that happened. It like sold out in 2 seconds.
Right.
And my agents were like, holy shit. They're like, I mean, we knew you did stand up, but then I had to like go prove that I was a stand up.
Right.
And then I did it. And then, but again, Matt Rife has, you know, a very specific audience. Mine was filled with women. And they were like, we've never seen anything like this. And I was like, yeah, because no one fucking talked to the women. Right. Everybody was trying to please this other male audience. And I went in, and then now that the guys come, they're like, this is a fucking great show. And I'm an old theater kid, so I'm going to give you a razzle motherfucking dazzle.
I love it.
Okay? You're going to feel shit. You're going to be dancing. You're going to have the best fucking time at my 100%. Show. It's not just me standing with a spotlight, never moving. Like,
you're fucking running around.
I'm like Cat Williams. I sweat like Cat Williams.
Yes.
I'm like Joan Rivers in a full bedazzled glitter suit with fur, diamonds, full blowout, RuPaul's drag beat. Like I'm old school, like old school entertainer.
And if you go to Heather's show, she might pull out a titty,
I will absolutely pull out a titty. Yeah.
So let's talk about, because the thing that we have in common, other than both, you know, we have giant vaginas, is
huge pussies,
wide set. Yeah. Is we both. You've already done it, Radio City.
Yeah.
I'm doing it this Friday. By the time this episode comes out, I would have already done it, and you guys would know that I killed myself on stage. Yeah. Fully. So, that was the closer. That was the surprise.
Yeah.
Blew my head off. So this is in memoriam.
This has been fantastic.
Yes.
So nice to meet you.
Nice. But like, do you think like performing at Radio City, was there something different? Because you performed at venues that size. You know, you mentioned the Fox Theater and other things. But what was different about Radio City?
It was the wildest thing. I used to wait tables, and I said this at my over, but I said I used to wait tables like, I don't know, on 8th Avenue, you know, a couple avenues over from there. And I said, like, I used to wait tables on all these bridge and tunnel cunts that would come over, and they'd be running to a show at Radio City or on Broadway. And then I was like, and now 12 years later, all these cunts are in the audience paying to see me. It was so wild. And my sweet husband, who is very sentimental, when we went in and did like the walkthrough, you know, we were doing sound check, he was just sitting in the audience alone crying. And I was
Is that a side effect of the Ozempic?
It is. It's a side effect of the Ozempic and the autism. It was. Jeff is very sentimental. I, of course, am in show mode, so I'm just nervous, and I've had diarrhea for 2 weeks.
He was just crying because he's scared of large open spaces.
Yes,
he's an agoraphobic.
He is. But it was the wildest thing. I mean, and then when you walk out on the stage, I mean, it's so vast. You're like, I immediately had the reaction like, I shouldn't be here, but I was like, no, fuck yeah. This is the best. It was the best night of my life. But I will say, like, because you already said you've opened for somebody there.
Quick, only 5 minutes, though.
Yeah, but it's really wild because they warned me before I went out on stage. They were like, hey, just so you know, it takes a minute for the sound to hit the back of the room and then come back to you. So it was like a delayed 10-second after each joke. I don't know, the timing is off. So for the first 3 minutes, like, my opener was like, I don't know what's going on, the sound, because the sound is so vast. It's not made.
Like your opener thought they were bombing.
Yes, and they were fucking crushing. And so it takes a second for the sound to go back. So once you get grounded and you're like, because you have that rush of adrenaline, you're like, you just have to get grounded and be like, all right, and you get in the rhythm and you're like, oh shit. It's just, the sound literally has to go 65 miles out to then come back.
What time how early did you get into the venue? Like how much before the showtime?
I got there at like 4, showtime was at 8, but I also had a little surprise. I came out with dancers. Again, I'm an old musical theater gal.
Sick.
It was wild. And then the women from the Today Show, so Hoden,
our producer, by the way, Vito, just walked out.
He walked out.
He walked out. He was like, fuck this.
Women in comedy, I'm fucking done.
Dancers, I'm leaving.
But no, I did a full show. So, and then
that's awesome.
Hoda and Jenna did a video to intro me because
that's cool.
They gave me kind of like my first platform. They always bring on the Today Show.
So I want to ask you this question. And you know, listen, it's for the, you know, Chrissy Chaos fans. I know I always tell them we're not going to go inside comedy with other comedians. Just give me 2 minutes to ask her questions about Radio City, and then we'll ask her about Russell Brand and shit. Okay, we'll ask her about juicy shit. Just fucking give me a second.
2 seconds.
I know.
We're bonding.
I know. I always get into like this argument with my I don't know what they're doing. They could be having a great time, but I'm always like, I know you guys are mad at me.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you had to do a lot of like, I'll call it pomp and circumstance, but I mean that in a positive way, before the show? Because I'm feeling like my manager wants me to. I'm even in my head like, do I make a video? Do I do something? But I kind of came to this decision, and it might be resistance, and it might have been me just being a pussy and not being able to figure it out. I said, you know what? I just want this to be about the comedy. I'm going to do this like a regular show because the venue itself will elevate my crowd, and they'll So, but did I make a mistake, and should I think about doing a video?
No, don't change anything right now.
Okay.
I used to, before I would bring openers, I would open for myself. I would do 20 minutes as a fucking character.
Wow.
I would do stand up as a character. Okay. And then I learned I was doing too much. And then now I just bring an opener. But no, I've always had like video elements because people are really like connected to a lot of the characters I used to do.
Okay.
So I've always had like at least a 2-minute video that opens my show. Like
On any show?
On any show.
Okay.
Even I'll have an opener and then just people want to see the classics and then I come out.
So you didn't do anything really different in Radio City?
Well, no, I did. I did a full song and dance, and and then we had the surprise that Hoda and Jenna did a big video, being like, Heather McMahan had a Radio City debut. She was just on the Today Show. Like, they're just my girls, so they're really sweet to me. But no, I also though, again, I'm a show horse. I'm a show pony. Okay, so I have a very strict thing. Like, I'd set the show, and then beforehand, like I don't let anybody backstage. I do my own hair and makeup. I just get dialed in. I have my routine. I listen to fucking cocktail jazz. It's a great Spotify playlist. I don't do like I'm not entertaining anybody before I have to entertain anybody. So I was very in show mode.
Interesting. So you wouldn't even let your own family in?
No,
before.
I will, but they know. Jeff knows to sit in the corner and like jerk off and watch Penn State football.
Right.
Like don't. I'm not entertaining, and I don't let managers, agents, bullshit, and none of that is allowed backstage. They can hang out, but I don't want to see them. Like,
so
don't
you
come
go
bother
to
me.
another room, because I would assume Radio City, it's big enough back there where it's like they can be in one room, but like you, at least for an hour before, go and settle in on who you.
Yeah, and I'm just doing my own hair and makeup, and I'm quiet, and I do my thing, because I learned early on, I'd always have people backstage. I was like, I'm entertaining you because that's just who I am. Before I need to go fucking entertain all these people, I'm shutting it down.
Zapping your energy.
Zapping my fucking energy.
What did you do after the show? Take us after the party. Yes.
Yeah, I rented the Pebble Bar, which is connected to 30 Rock, okay? And it's like 3 stories, rented the whole thing out, and I had the wildest party of my life, and I walked home at 7 a.m., fucked up out of my mind, and I stood in front of the marquee that they had already changed to like Charlie Puth the next day.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, that was the wildest night of my life. Like, I walked off stage. It didn't hit me till like a week later. I was laying in bed, and I turned to my husband, and I go, honey, did that just happen? It was literally a week later. And he was like, yes, you performed at Radio City. It was like a outer body experience. I know that sounds so cheesy, but that was like the wildest night of my life.
See, like, cause I'm asking these questions. I appreciate the honesty. Cause for me, it's like, all I'm thinking about is like the actual just doing the show. And I'm like, and I have a show the next night in New York, theater at MSG. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It happened last week. I performed there with a severed head. And so I'm like, I don't want to get too crazy and too drunk and too hungover because I got a big show the next day, but I also want to experience it like what you did, the Pebble Bar or the Rainbow Room or something where I'm like, I want to feel like I did this. I got my kids coming. So
great.
like that's special, but it's like the trade-off when you have kids. Like I have my children coming because I want them there, but that means then I can't, I'm going to do Saturday night after theater at MSG. I'm telling you. No, Heather, I'm doing heroin. I'm doing heroin. Like with the needle. Yeah. Like fully, I'm going to buy it off the street.
Yeah, I'll bring some Narcan, whatever you need.
Seriously,
I got you.
Because it's such like, even though I'm not filming a special there, even though like I'm just really actually beginning my tour, it feels like I've been carrying around so much subconscious pressure about these shows that I simultaneously want them to just happen already so I can purge it, but also be in the moment and take every second in. Did you feel similar?
I was so sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat for like a week, which was so stupid. Just like horrific diarrhea, right? For a week. Because I was just like, it was bubble guts. You were nervous, right?
Yes.
And then I got there and Jeff was like, you have to eat something. I was like, I can't even chew toast right now. I couldn't do it. It's like my jaw quit working. And I don't get, they say the day you quit being nervous is the day that you don't give a shit anymore. Or like I still get, excited, but it was different. I just felt this amount of pressure. And then once I got on the stage, I was like, I am living my fucking dream. This is what I tell myself. I was like, I am here to bring joy. I am not here to be smarter than anybody in the room. I am simply here to bring joy. And I know that that's what I'm good at. And I just like leaned in and I kept telling myself, be present and be pleasant. Like go in there, just be present and enjoy it. And then once I got in the zone, I was like, it was the most fun I'd ever had.
And then it went by like that.
And then it went by like that. And then the next night, but just blackout on Saturday. Yes. You know what I mean? End up in this, I don't know.
Dude, I don't know
Midtown
because
jail.
You're not from New York.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But like I literally, one of the things that's stressing me out, and I know they mean well, but like family and friends, is like there's like 150 comps. So it's like, it's so many.
That's
Radio
me for
City,
Atlanta. My mom's literally like, can my entire Bunko group get 600 tickets?
Yeah.
The ladies at the Country Club 9-hole. I'm like, no, Mom, have them buy a fucking ticket. I'll give you 20. That's it.
Radio City, so they always have 18 police there for every show.
Yeah.
And the first 18 police that they picked all
your
requested.
family?
No.
Oh.
They already were coming to the show because I have so many fans from the NYPD. So they were like that they had to get enough to go to the next 18. They were like literally every person that we said besides like one guy was like, no, we already actually I requested that day off.
Yeah, I'm going to the show.
I took that fucking show.